organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this semester's first newscast of Daily Iowan TV.
Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Find out what the university did to celebrate this national holiday.
And the University of Iowa President Sally Mason is retiring, and we have an exclusive look on her announcement and what to expect in the next few days.
And in sports,
we'll catch you up on everything that you missed in Hawkeye Athletics over the break.
All of this and more coming up.
Welcome back to Daily Iowan TV. Thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Horhan.
And I'm Abby Meyer.
University of Iowa President Sally Mason surprised students and parents last Thursday. President Mason announced that she will be retiring August 1st. Daily Iowan TV reporter Selena Carr caught up with Mason after her announcement. Check it out.
Today in a statement, University of Iowa President Sally Mason announced that she will retire from the university on August 1st. Mason is the university's 20th president, and she's been serving since 2007. Now, Daily Iowan TV met with President Mason today, where she told us that she's been thinking of retiring for over a month now.
With the Board of Regents and the university community, did you feel any pressure to leave?
No. I mean, this is my decision. And there was no pressure, but I have to say that having some time to relax and reflect gives you the freedom to think about what the possibilities are, and I enjoyed that over the holidays.
Mason also told us that she takes pride in seeing higher graduation rates, student retention rates, and also making college more affordable. She also told us about the challenges that she's faced on campus, including the recession, the 2008 flood, and those controversial comments she made about sexual assaults.
You know, I look back on the comments about sexual assault as a moment where the campus really came together on the issue, and how important that was for our campus, for our students, for the faculty and staff and others to come together and say, this is a serious issue. This is an issue that we have to deal with. Watching the campus come together over this issue was really gratifying. It made me feel really good. And I'm sorry it took a stupid comment that I made to precipitate this, but I'm very pleased at the way the campus has responded.
Mason says that she's ready to get back to a normal life and that she has no definite plans after retirement. Make sure to follow our coverage on the story at dailyiowan.com, Facebook, and Twitter. Reporting in the newsroom, Selena Carr, Daily Iowan TV.
We'll have ongoing Mason coverage this week. Be sure to tune in to Daily Iowan TV next Monday after our exclusive Q&A with President Mason.
One University of Iowa student studying abroad is in critical condition at a hospital in Rome. Andrew Magni was seriously injured after suffering a fall a few days ago. The fall was reported as an accident, but police are investigating to rule out foul play. A mass was held near the school's campus yesterday in support of the injured student.
Martin Luther King Jr. was one of the leading figures in the civil rights movement, and today is the day that we honor all that he did for the nation. Daily Iowan TV's Cole Johnson has the story.
Today, Iowa City citizens gathered together to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Different celebrations were held across the city, ranging from music festivals to church services. One event in particular generated a lot of participants, a March for Unity. I'm here on the Pentecrest, where people are beginning to gather for the March in Unity in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. The march will be about a half-mile in length and take place here on the Pentecrest. It will be followed by a Time to Remember segment inside the Old Capitol. People from all over gathered for this march based on one simple idea.
We're what we are, and we should accept each other however we are.
From the Pentecrest, Cole Johnson, Daily Iowan TV.
Abby, it looked like some of that snow out there was melting today.
Yeah, it is feeling unusually warm, but tomorrow, Beth, what does it look like?
Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit chillier than we thought it would be. Tomorrow morning, we'll be seeing cooler temperatures on our morning walk to class in the low 30s with partly cloudy skies. As the afternoon approaches, we see temperatures reaching the low 40s. And tomorrow evening, temperatures head back down to the mid-30s with overcast skies, and unfortunately, there is going to be a slight chance of snow, so you may want to get those winter boots back out. The remainder of the week looks to be in the high 30s to mid-40s. And to end our first week of classes on Friday, we'll be experiencing clear skies with temperatures in the mid-40s. Sadly, we aren't done with snow for the week as it returns on Sunday with temperatures in the mid-30s. And that's all I have for you with the Weather Studio. Back to you at the desk.
While we were away, a few international stories hit the newsstands.
We have an overview on some of the biggest stories.
4 are dead and 35 are injured after a suicide bomber attacked a bus station yesterday near Potiskum, Nigeria. Witnesses say a young man rammed a car loaded with explosives into buses as they were waiting to load passengers. No one has taken credit for the attack yet, but many believe militant Islamist group Boko Haram is to be responsible. Boko Haram has terrorized the northeastern town in the past. Attacks by the group have so far claimed the lives of over 13,000 people.
A catastrophic attack on France's capital. 7 days into the new year, 2 gunmen, brothers, broke into the offices of a satirical French newspaper. They opened fire, killing 12 and injured 11 more. Al-Qaeda claimed responsibility for the attacks. 2 days later, the brothers were taken down by French police. All eyes turned to the historic city as citizens gathered in the streets and world leaders visited to show their support.
2014 was a big year for newsrooms across the nation. We have a quick recap of major events that happened throughout the year.
Take a look as I show the top 5 most searched news stories of the year. Coming in at number 5, I think most of us remember the disastrous launch of the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. The failed launch led to the resignation of Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius last April. Now a second act has launched with open enrollment underway until mid-February. However, a Supreme Court case that could dismantle the entire program hangs in the air. Until then, the Affordable Care Act says you must have health insurance or you could be fined. So if you are not covered, you might want to consider it. Whether you call them ISIS or ISIL, the terror group became public enemy number 1 this year. The group captured large areas in Syria and Iraq, murdering thousands along the way. U.S. sent airstrikes to their targets in Iraq, which slowed the militants' march to Baghdad. After, 2 graphic videos of U.S. citizens being executed were released. The U.S. coalition group has led airstrikes on Syria, but the Prime Minister says that the Islamic State has not been weakened. Protests broke out all over the nation after Michael Brown, an unarmed black teenager, was shot and killed by white police officer Darren Wilson. After a grand jury decided not to indict Officer Wilson, racial tensions escalated throughout the nation and even in Iowa City. Wilson later resigned from the force because of safety concerns. The midterm elections proved to be a referendum on President Obama as voters gave Republicans control of the Senate. Iowa also welcomed Joni Ernst, the first female to take the U.S. Senate seat. Ernst seized 52.2% of the vote and defeated Democrat rival Bruce Braley by 8.5%. And coming in as number 1, the Ebola epidemic. Starting with a few cases in Guinea, soon broke out to the deadliest outbreak of Ebola. The virus spread throughout West Africa, claiming over 5,000 lives. In September, the first case in the U.S. was diagnosed to Eric Duncan, a Liberian citizen who traveled to the U.S. and later died from complications. Duncan's death raised questions of the U.S. readiness to control the disease, and hospitals around the nation and even Iowa City hospitals took measures to be prepared if a case entered their doors. And that's a look at the 5 most searched news stories of 2014. What's in store for 2015? I guess we will all find out together.
While students at Iowa were relaxing over break, Hawkeye athletics were in full swing.
That's right, Megan. Let's toss it over to Taylor Mathis and Zach Mackey standing by in the sports studio to catch us up everything we missed.
Thanks, guys. A lot to get to tonight as we have everything from Hawkeye football to gymnastics on tap. I'm Zach Mackey.
And I'm Taylor Mathis. Over the break, the Iowa football team traveled down south to play in the Tax Slayer Bowl against SEC team Tennessee.
That's right, Taylor. Football reporter Chelsea Brown was down in Jacksonville for the game and says there's a silver lining to what was a rather gray game for the Hawkeyes.
The Iowa football season ended in a huge 45-28 loss against the Tennessee Volunteers in the Tax Slayer Bowl. Although Iowa was not able to make their mark with a win, two seniors added to their legacies for the Hawkeyes.
You know, once we got down by so much, it really started to get heavy on my mind since it was hard to win the game. I'm like, something positive that could come from it is leading the record.
Wide receiver Cavante Martin-Manley knew in the back of his mind he needed just 3 catches to capture the all-time leading receptionist title.
It was definitely in the back of my mind, but you know, the whole purpose of playing is to get wins. So my whole focus was to win the game, and to win the game, I can contribute to that by just making plays.
And he did just that, catching exactly 3 for 23 yards to reach 174 career receptions. Adding to Iowa's all-time best in the program history was also running back Mark Wiseman. Against Tennessee, he ran for just 10 yards on 7 carries and tallied 2 touchdowns, bringing his career total to 32 and capturing the second all-time at Iowa.
Not the way you wanted to end, not the way anyone wants to end their career here, but you know, proud of everything that we've done as a senior class, and you know, it's just a team. No other team, no other coaches, any from the top down. Just no one I'd rather go to battle with every day than anyone in this program.
Both records were bittersweet after the loss. Martin Manley was one of 6 players to appear in 51 games as a Hawkeye, leaving as the #1 leading receptionist. And after a long string of injuries, transitioning Wiseman into the backfield as a running back led to the discovery of a touchdown machine. Chelsea Brown for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
After that devastating loss and a season without any trophy wins, Kirk Ferentz took to the media to answer questions about next season.
While he says there aren't any coaches changes at the moment, he is ready to reevaluate for the 2015 squad.
We've got to look at everything that we're doing, look at it with a fresh eye, and you know, at the end of the day, make sure that we're using our people to the best of their possible abilities, and look at what we're teaching, and more importantly, how we're teaching it, and make sure that that shows in everything that we're attempting to do. So that's kind of where we're at right now, and again, our goal has always been to contend for Big Ten titles. It remains that way, and that's what our focus is moving forward.
For more from the press conference and a look into the Ferentz era, tune back into Wednesday's program.
And now to catch us up on other Hawkeye sports, let's toss it over to our Monday Whip Around crew.
Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Taylor and Zach. Hannah Thompson here outside Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the women's gymnastics team took home second at their home opener on Sunday. The Gym Hawks started out the event slow on the vault and ended the day with 2 team personal bests on the floor from senior Sydney Hare and junior Allie Glover. Michigan State took home the win with a score of 195.65, and Ball State trailed the Gym Hawks, rounding out in third. Coach Larissa Libby said she was disappointed with the slow start and said they have to learn how to carry over practice success into competition before the next meet. That's all I've got in gymnastics, and I'm going to toss things over to Alyssa for an update on women's hoops.
Hey guys, Alyssa Koshman here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the 22nd ranked Iowa women's basketball team is rising to the top. In recent wins over Northwestern and Michigan State, the Hawks improved to second in the Big Ten standings, behind senior All-American Samantha Logic and the #1 3-point shooter in the nation, Melissa Dixon. The Hawks remain undefeated at home as they return to action this Thursday against Michigan at 8 p.m. here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Now, for more on men's gymnastics, I'll toss it over to Mark Fry.
Thanks, Alyssa. The Iowa Hawkeye men's gymnastics team will look to improve on last year's record of 25-9. The Hawkeyes competed in the 45th annual Windy City Invite this past weekend. They competed against teams such as Ohio State, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, and Illinois College, and the University of Illinois at Chicago. The Hawkeyes found success in individuals such as Cyrus Dogle Moffitt, who scored a 14 on the floor exercise. The best event of the night was the vault for the Hawkeyes, as they saw 5 different individuals score 14 or higher, including Will Albert's 14.55 on the event. The Hawkeyes will compete this weekend in Iowa City against UIC. The Hawkeyes were able to best UIC in last year's meet in Chicago. This will be the first home event for the Hawkeyes this season. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, guys, and great job for your first time out there.
Well, that's all we have time for tonight, but be sure to tune in tomorrow to see how the Iowa men's basketball team is faring in the Big Ten so far this season.
Megan and Abby, back to you ladies at the desk.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow night at 9 for your latest news.
And always stay updated online at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.